Well, you can, because we're about to go down now, bubbers.
Going down, down, baby.
I'm cold.
A street and a raincoat.
I need to put on my hoodie.
Sweeper, baby, got ready to let it go.
There's the boats over there.
Headed on down to the
That's not the boats,
KNOeBEL
that's a
town.
freaking roller coaster I want to go on.
Just south of KNOeBEL is the Weiser State Forest.
It was named after a man by the name of Conrad Weiser.
Was he Russian? Nope. He was German-American. And the only thing he was in a hurry to do was form more unity amongst the colonialists and the Indians. Was he a hero? I think it would depend upon your perspective. To some, he was a man that saved the Union, so to speak. A peacemaker. He achieved agreements and worked settlements between the British governor of India and the Native Americans, specifically the Iroquois. He was raised in New York State, where he gained exposure to the Iroquois from an early age. He was able to understand their language and their customs. This gave him an upper hand in acting as a diplomat for the then governor of British origin. Weiser State Forest is located in the Ridge and Valley region of eastern Pennsylvania. Named for the frontier diplomat Conrad Weiser, the forest covers almost 30,000 acres on 16 tracts through the region. The Weiser Forest District includes Dauphin County, Carbon County, Columbia County, Lebanon County, Montour County, Northumberland County, and Schuylkill County.
I was thinking about making this the Pretzels in History unofficial headquarters. But we keep going back to the beach, so it's like, I don't know, man.
I say this summer we keep coming back here as much as we can. It's only an hour and 10 minutes away. But
That gentleman was taking a ride on the struggle bus.
I got a hard time backing out. Here's the boats.
Kind of.
That's what I want to go on. But you're driving the boat because I can't drive and get stuck against the wall and we can't move anything.
What are we here for? Drive the boats.
We can drive a boat. So, believe it or not, KNOeBELs has the original ride, pretzel ride, which we had talked about that earlier. I forget what episode. But anyway, but yeah, the original.
At the end of our third season.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, so we're here at KNOeBELs to go on the #1 most haunted ride ever in the whole United States, if I'm not mistaken. It was voted for that. And like I said, there was a company called Pretzel Dark Rides, and this is the only park here that actually has that company still working with that ride to this day. There is, unfortunately, that company went out of business, so this is the only ride left of that company that still is in the works.
No, there are a few. There's a number.
Oh, okay, well I didn't know that, so let's go check it out.
There's a big.
Let's go check it out.
I feel like you need to do more research before you do this. art project. Scary as hell.
Not as scary as them.
I guess you're not too worried about it flooding again?
Well, just remember what I said. They had to remove all those carousels or all those horses off that carousel and put them in storage. This is how high the water was. $5 for mini golf here.
How high is too high? That's the question. 2006, it was up.
That's when those bisons died at Hershey Zoo. That was that hurricane that was almost like Agnes's record. I don't think it was.
And what happened to the bisons?
They drowned.
Hershey Park took a big hit from the Spring Creek flooding last week, while the zoo took a lot of criticism for failing to get 2 bison out of harm's way.
Well, News 8's Jim Sinkovitz toured the park and zoo with Hershey officials and shows us what he found.
Get there in time, so they drowned at Hershey, and then they got sued big time, and then they never had money to replace the bisons. That was 2011. That was the first. That was the worst flood. That I'll never forget, because that's where the water went up to my parents' basement, up on the top step. And my mom's like, "You're not going Arabian Manor today." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Look outside." And I said, and when I saw this stuff, I'm like, "Oh crap!" That's when they wrote me up, because I told them I couldn't get in. And they thought I was BSing around. And I said, "Well, if you had a speedboat, I would be glad to come in." I said, "I live in Manheim, Flood City." So then I didn't get written up the next day when the other supervisor explained that, but we can edit that out. Let's go.
See, they took it down.
You're saying it's closed because
It's no longer there.
Well, that sucks. That was a very old ride.
That would cause for them to close it. It not being there anymore.
Alright, right here, Leighton.
Dead in front of us?
Yeah. This is what you wanted.
Is it there or is it over there?
It's right here.
Straight away. It's creepy, but like a modern creepy almost. Sort of like modern, like gothic, a gothic modern look.
So we use for like because seizures. Yeah, seizures and epilepsy.
Oh, great. So you're saying I can get sick for free on this ride?
No, I'm saying you can have a seizure if you're epilepsy.
Barely see it down there, but yeah.
Well, darn time. And he said, I paid $350 for the both of us. So I'm like, what do you expect? I got scared. I was little.
So, in your opinion, has this ride changed much since the last time you were, or the first time, between the first time that you were on it and the last time that you were on it?
Honestly, I couldn't remember because, like I said, I had my eyes closed the whole time the first time. So you really can't compare.
Have you seen it change at all?
Not really, but you might want to move up because the line's moving and come on.
These cars should look familiar. As much as we've spent time looking into these pretzel ride things, at least I have. I spent many a night poring over these old documents, these old websites about these pretzel rides, their founders and their creators. That shows true dedication. Yeah, let's go. like, ooh, scrunch in here.
Yep, I think
Gotta
so.
loosen my load. Alright. Man, I wasn't expecting that jolt, but here we go. I'm scared already.
Yeah, right. You will be scared when you start shitting your pants with the barrels falling on your head. You're gonna be screaming like a girl.
Ah! Loud noises will get you. That's not enough. I can't see it. Oh, did you see that? Yeah! That's not screaming
Oh,
like
she's
me.
pretty. Oh, that's nice.
Prettier than you. And nicer than you, too.
Okay, this did change a little bit.
Somebody got the answer wrong. I feel like somebody just got the answer
Hey,
wrong.
look,
at Jeopardy.
skeletons upside down playing chess. Nice. Okay, this did change a little bit.
That's supposed to be a witch. Okay. Oh man. Apparently these things used to spin too. These carts that we're riding on right now. Back in the day when they were still relatively new. Oh, these carts would spin around freely during the ride.
Does this sound familiar to you? Michael Myers.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny.
Man, that
Pointing that out. You want me to scream like a little girl, right? For some reason, you got something against little girls. You think they're weak.
Did you see what happened there? Kimmy B made a snappy remark, and Tony stumbled, leaving him in a state of defense. While maybe an extreme comparison, same natural instinct applies to the forces that were at work in the colonies. It doesn't take much to understand why there was such a vast cultural difference between the natives and their newfound neighbors.
Not just technology, but completely different set of belief systems. With those different belief systems and methodologies came about a different way of living, and when it came down to it, the two cultures found themselves clashing. The two cultures would clash.
Your backpack's full.
Calvary's here. That's it, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
All right.
All right.
Good one. That's quick.
From the French Indian War to the Civil War, the one thing they have in common, things escalate.
It would take two people to play this. Gotta watch our blood pressures here. Here we're looking at an old train. This apparently is only 2 years older than the park itself.
This is a map of Gettysburg. It has all the major features on it. This is Devil's Den, Little Round Top, the wheat field, the peach orchard, the Lutheran seminaries up here. This is Oak Hill. That's where the Peace Light Memorial is. And it's 6 miles from Big Round Top to this hill up here, Oak Hill.
And just remember, this was the bloodiest battle, so like all of this whole map right here is all haunted.
And this is all, like this is Her Ridge, this is where the battle started.
Okay,
July
that's
1st.
wow.
This is the area the Buford was at with his cavalry. First corps came in through here, they were driven back into town. They occupied this area here.
So where did it end?
Pickett's charge came across here on July 3rd from Seminary Ridge across to Cemetery Ridge.
Oh wow. So it didn't even make it down this way?
There was fighting going on here.
Yeah.
This is Culp's Hill. There was a general that was defending Culp's Hill. He was 62 years old, General Johnson.
Yeah.
And he was taking cannon fire from Benner Hill. And Confederates tried to take that hill because it was the flank. They were unable to do it. They held there. Part of the 5th Corps down here, that little round top, they held their flank. Napoleonic warfare is like if the two flanks are strong, you got to be weak somewhere, so you have to be weak in the center. And that's why Lee attacked the center. Which did not go well. There's a lot of the farmhouses that were there during the battle. Leicester Farm, that was Meade's headquarters. Up here, the Thompson House, that was Robert E. Lee's headquarters. A lot of these farmhouses after the battle were used as field hospitals.
That is really interesting.
But when they talk about the fish hook, the Union was in the shape of a fish hook. This is the fish hook right here.
Oh wow.
One of the most important things on this map is where the water's at.
Where was the water at?
We've got Rock Creek, and we've got Willoughby Run, and we've got Marsh Creek.
Oh wow.
But on day 2 of the battle, they said the Plum Run ran red with blood.
Ew.
Because so many men had been killed. Because there was heavy fighting. From the Peach Orchard to the Wheat Field to Devil's Game.
You hear that? All that water filled up with blood.
Well, it was just tainted.
Oh.
It was just tainted red.
Okay.
And then sadly, there was a creek that ran, it wasn't a creek, it was a run that came through Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Weinbrenner Run.
Okay.
And men had crawled into that thinking that they would be safe. They were wounded. Unfortunately, at range, after the battle, a lot of men drowned in Willoughby Run because they couldn't get out of the ditch because they were wounded.
Oh man. That's sad.
It's very sad.
Is this a railroad right here?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
The railroad was only completed into the town.
Oh wow.
The war broke out and they didn't complete this part until after the war.
Huh.
Trying to keep history alive.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do too. That's our goal.
You said you're from the Lebanon area?
Yeah.
Check out my...
Oh my word.
Look at the phone number.
887.
Phone 887.
That's all it is.
Wow.
So I have no idea how old this thing actually is. But they have a phone number of just 3 digits.
That was back when they had party lines and you just pick up the phone and
When
dial
I
it
was a
up.
kid, I was on a party line.
That's what he was too, and I was like, I never called a party line.
You pick up and somebody else is on the phone, you hang up until they get off.
They were being phased out by the time I was a kid, you know. But yeah, they did exist then still.
Down in Gettysburg. It's lot to see.
It is.
I go down 3-4 times a year. I go down in November for Remembrance Day.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. This is where the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, also did the Gettysburg Address. I also forgot to add that this is too where the last of the...
They put luminaries in the cemetery, in the National Cemetery. I think there's like 3,000 graves there, maybe more. But there's hundreds of people walking through, and you can hear a pin drop because everybody's whispering. It is revered. And then every half hour, they have 2 bugles playing taps. And one is echoing the other one. And it sends shivers up your spine to hear that. I mean, it just gives you a feeling of just this weird feeling. That is the night of whenever they celebrate Remembrance Day. After the parade, the night of the parade, they put them up there. And then they have at the entrance into the cemetery, there's usually people that are reading off all the interned there, and like a lot of them have names, and then a lot has the woman will be saying like 20, they'll give the grave number, and then it's like unknown, they'll give another grave number, unknown. It's like there's so many unknown soldiers buried in that cemetery.
That's so true. I know, we were kind of like learning about that too, where even females were fighting the battle, and say like if they got killed and they were staken for a man, they would be buried as a man, and they wouldn't know their identity unless the families got a letter and they would say, wait a minute, that's my daughter or whoever, and then they would say, okay, like, so that's not a man, that's a woman, and then they would, change the thing from unknown to here lies whoever, but then unfortunately for the women that fought battle that could not be identified was just unknown name of a soldier. So yeah, that was kind of sad. I found that interesting but sad at the same time.
It's surprising how many women actually wore the service disguised as men. There's a plaque on a house in Danville, it's down from the courthouse, and the woman had disguised herself as a man and went into the service with her husband because he'd been drafted.
Yeah.
And she was never discovered that she was actually a man. So that's kind of neat. I didn't mean that she was killed or anything.
Yeah.
No one found out that she was a woman.
Oh, right.
So she made it out safely.
Oh, okay.
But just the whole thought of it.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And around the corner, that photo here on my field desk, that is my great-great-granddad.
Oh, really?
He did 3 different enlistments in the Civil War.
Wow, what was his listings?
He enlisted as a private at the beginning of the war because you only had to sign up for 90 days because they thought the war would end quickly.
Yeah.
But he probably could have taken a commission if there was longer enlistments because he fought in the Mexican-American War and the Seminole War. So he had military experience. After his 90 days, he went into the cavalry. He was commissioned as a first lieutenant. He served as a first lieutenant. He was actually captured in Arkansas, but it was early war, so there was a prisoner exchange. So he was exchanged. So then he ended up relinquishing that commission, and then he went back as a captain at the end of the war and served till the end. And he was 50 years old at the end of the war and still serving. 50.
Wow.
And then he lived till he was 92.
Oh,
So he was one tough old bird.
yeah, and he had a good life too, it seems.
Yeah.
And fought a good one. Interesting. Thank you for that information. I like to hear.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
It would take 2 people to play